Good evening, everybody. How are you? Nice to meet you. So nice to meet you. So nice to see you again. I love you here. Some people completely new. You have 10 people here?
Yes.
You bad? You?
No.
You all bad? Oh, you bad? You're not. I'm not him. I'm not him. His wife, yeah.
This is our son, Geshe Ngawang.
Oh, your son? Ah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good. I think you know.
No.
Good. Everybody know. Today everybody know, okay? In Buddhism believe every moment we change. They all want God, they know what's coming. Yeah. 그래서 대리만도 딱 남배기 책. 그래. 딱 그러죠.
So today we're going to study about the mind and cognition, that is taught according to the Buddhist texts. So anyway, most of you who have been here for some time know about all these teachings and practices already, right? And so anyway, Buddhism is a type of religion or teachings. So in general, there are so many different kind of religions in this world. So there are this common basis for all of these religions, saying, talking about being kind to others, not causing harm to others, and so forth. According to what I know, I think in Buddhism, in Christianity, in Islam, they all have this, they all talk about the non-virtuous actions, the virtuous actions and non-virtuous actions. Like in Buddhism, we talk about 10 non-virtuous actions, and there's different way of explaining and different name or term for that. But I think what they explain is about same. So in general, all the religions are very good, so therefore we should respect all the religions. Actually, the religions are good, but because of some people, practicing in a different way, a wrong way, or taking it in a wrong way, that causes people to think of that religion as bad.
And this 시전이 가서 지금 수대사한테 고도적 개말로 담 정리가 약급 소소소 쪼비야다. 약급대 지금 손주 약급대 야제 동안에 내가 지금 다시 성다. 내가 남무리를 왔어.
So also in general, politics is not bad also, right? The politics is there in order to develop the country, in order to protect the people and so forth. So that's what the politics is actually.
옛날에 뭐까지 소소고 개사하더니 야다 politics 내가 로리를 쟁 올라왔어.
But there are some people who use these politics for their own benefit, and therefore people think that politics are bad.
And when the presidents do election, then they talk about very bad to each other. Yeah, 어떻게 다 관심하지? 다 지다 치료가 다 야보를 넣어서 기술적으로 해서.
So anyway, so in a similar way, all the religions are good. So therefore, we should respect each other.
다 가서 남백이 아니 지금 다 가서 주체가 오르더라고요. 그래서 주체가 오르서 가르치더라서나 아니 대화도시 동하면 되고 다면 되게 싫어서 이제 그렇게 그러고 주체를 제대로.
So in Buddhism, we are advised to practice Dharma. The reason for practicing Dharma is because we want to have happiness and do not want any sufferings, right?
다 원하는 제대로 가르쳐야 돼. 대화도 동하면 쭉 제가 가르치는 게 왜서 저만 이빨이 다
And so if we ask a second question saying, well, how does that benefit, how does practicing Dharma benefit us to have happiness and not experience any sufferings?
대화를 두면서 해야 돼. 제대로 깨닫게 shum어요.
So then it is true because all the sufferings and happinesses, they come from causes and conditions. So you have to create a cause and condition for you to experience happiness or suffering.
대제마다 대화 도구나 대외적 개화 듣고 개화 되는 대화 거래서
So if we want to experience happiness, then we have to create a cause for that, and the cause for happiness is the virtuous actions.
아니 저런 게 아니 대화 동안 뭐나 동안 제대로 먹게 와래서 대빵 거래서 그래서.
And if we don't want to experience any suffering, then we should not create any cause of those sufferings. The cause for the sufferings are non-virtuous actions.
다 빼잖아요. 근데 간에 와서 빼나. 몇대 깨닫지면 남을래. 뭐 관계는 토조셔서 용하다. 몇대 그런 분이 깔려졌네. 다들 저도 왔어.
And so, for example, if the person wants to, become famous and well known by all the people, then the person himself or herself has to work hard from their own side, right?
그래서 소소 깨닫으면 딱 대화 제대로 소소 듣고 왔어.
And so, he or she has to create a cause for him or her to become famous, right?
빼대놓지. 다 가도 시도 사고에나 시도인 저거 시도 코로나 때문에 사회는 맞담나 시도대가 개결면 되면 시도가 사회라는 말과.
And so, in a similar way, if we want to eat, let's say apple or any kind of fruit, then we have to sow the seed, of that fruit, and then we'll be able to experience it. Otherwise, we'll not be able to have apple if someone did not, sow the seed of apple.
근데 인바 연사 다 빼나 동아 용하게 좀 먹여서 간절해서 상도시 지셔 나가 있나스.
And so now, what are the causes of suffering, the non-virtuous actions?
다 빼자자마나 만들어. 꼬마교회 말해서 꼬마교회는 대 꼬마교회 샤워됐다 먹여서라고 그래서.
So, for example, we say the stealing, is bad. So the stealing is non-virtuous action, and it is one of the causes for suffering.
다 꼬마적으로는 저 가려면 빼나 챈달라 가지고 두 개가 다 동감한 거라다. 소야 도구 같은 용도 왔어.
And so, what will be the result, of stealing? So the result, the obvious result, will be, like in this life, you'll be arrested or sent into jail and so forth, right?
그래서 대다 꼬마 지역인 레벨텔라 관심만도 좀만 더 용어를 왔어.
And so that is the result, right? Having getting arrested or thrown into a prison is the result of the action killing and also stealing, right? So that is easy to understand, right? That's a rough example. It's easy to understand. And all of us here, we all have different appearance, right? Different look, different face, different size, and so forth, right?
No, even the no one said that. Doubly, correct. More, cheaper, cheaper, softer, cheju, correct. Cheaper, cheaper,
have you heard or seen of anybody who is exactly the same in the look, in the behavior, in thought, in action?
Do you think it's available? 사실 쇼지는 나오는 강간 딱 나오면서 시작하는 거라서.
So even if they look alike, like the identical twins, they might look alike physically, but then mentally they might be different. The way they think, the way they do the things, with the things they are interested in will be different, right?
근데 이제 단다 영화 되게 단 저기 말했어. 대 영화기 저대 딱 너무 싸다라 라래.
And so all these differences that we have in each other is the result. So we each have created a cause for ourselves to have that kind of look, that kind of thought and so forth. And so those will be the very detailed cause of the action for having such and such appearance and so forth, so that we wouldn't be able to tell what kind of exact action have we created in order to have this appearance. So for people to trust in that person, and to praise him and to like him, so that person has to do something from his own side. He has to be, honest, has to have good manner of behavior and good thought and so forth. So when he has those things, then the result will be that that he will become famous and will be liked and praised by people. And so, for example, we all want to be, beautiful or handsome, right? Wants to have a good look and so forth. So the main cause for that, according to Buddhist teaching, is the practice of patience. And most of us, we don't have patience that much, right? And so in Buddhism we believe in past and future lives, and in the past life, our past life, the person in our past life has created this cause, and so then we have to, we had this body or look, appearance and so forth, and so maybe our past life person didn't practice so much of patience. That's why we don't have that good of look. And that's why we always have to wear makeups.
Right? We have to go there to check everything, right? 근데 제가 했나야? 단다 메이크업 쉐고 없다는데 바로 며칠 이게 불다는 아니 나도 고르사 그러고.
So we do put up all these makeups, but to look beautiful. But when people, stare at you, then you become angry again, right?
That's right. Then also, 관계가 그래 명령도 신을 was.
So that we know from our own experience, right?
가지 나도 지 메이크업 제대로 매일 야분 도와주는 나왔어. 그냥 잠으로 걔네 나왔어. 잠으로 올라가나?
So the reason why we put up all these makeups is so so for other people to like us, right?
Right.
Is it?
밑에 딱 보이나 그 보면은 난 나봐도 대대진 도야 시대 나도 제대로 봤어.
So we put all these makeups in either whether it's a man or a woman, we want people to think of them as good looking, right? And so forth. So that's why we put all the makeups. Is it?
Right? Not. 다 예배는 밑바지는 나도 동벌에 오면은 나도 나는 더 정말 실망을 봤어.
But if they don't stare at you, they will not see your beauty, right?
다 나도 찌따는 나도 걸어서 저도 걸어서 이래 사기는 그냥 사기랬어.
But if they stare at you, you get angry, right?
Angry, right? 이렇게 진짜 그래서 아니 관심하지 다 나도 아니 집에 메라를 봤어야 됐다 왜나 아니 딱 고아봤더니 뉴발에 들어서 아니 맞으면 메라를 봤어야 됐다 둘로 막그 리산에 얘들이 장판에 얘들이 가서 딱 모아서 사대기 내가 딱 고뉴발을 하고 있어 메라를 봤더니 맞을 맞으니 딱 고도 뉴발에 해라고 그랬어.
And so that's why the great yogi Milarepa, when he look at us doing all these things, he thinks we are crazy. And we, as worldly people, think Milarepa is crazy because he doesn't care. He doesn't take care of his body. He's just, eating metals all the time and practicing all the time. He doesn't care about his look, appearance. And we think he's crazy. But when he think of us, he thinks we are crazy.
다 단단 나라서 미시바디 온기 다가도 놀죠 뭐지 제가 때니 다 내가 두는 거 그랬어.
So because of not knowing all these things, not knowing because of the ignorance, and because of not knowing the reality, we make many mistakes.
배나 당연히 다가서 그 야로 그리고 야로 this and that's what called 다 그래. 시타는 나는 게 그래서 그리고 유니폼으로 그래서 근데 쇼시에 다요 지금 네 관계지 따나요 다 세식 동안 돌아가 지내고 그러고 아니 셔바이 건데 그러고 이제 과서 영어로 나도 미치고 그냥 따나 형이 가르다 저 장통만 요새 놀라고 그러고 항상 좀 되는데 뭐 가지 나고 그래 제가 벌어 보려고 했어 이게 삼성 고생아
So, for example, I'm wearing this robe, right? So, in one hand it is like the uniform of the monks, and the other hand is also to remind you of being a monk and how you have to be very tamed, subdued, and so forth. So, but then when I'm walking in the street, people stare at me because they see I'm different from others, wearing different clothes, and then I do get irritated when people that stare at me, and then I always, sometimes I think, what they're thinking about me, and so I have overheard some people saying whether this person is a man or female, wearing like a skirt, man or woman.
Also, sometimes I look like a female. When one time I was in India, and the Dalai Lama come to one temple, then the disciples stopped with the monks. Monks get their one door, the nuns have one door, different doors. Nun is a female monk. The monks have very, very long land. And also there are a lot of monks. The nuns less land. And I just go with nuns. Maybe here also, many people ask me, are you male? 간지말이 다 세상 다 소소가 넘게 대단한 죄당문에 야리 다 나도 이거 도서 간가 간지 나도 지 위에 대해서도 맛이 많다 왔더니 다 지금 먼저 봐야 다 지금 소소 지금 그래 다 소소 문제야기 지금 간에 뭐 이런 거 그래서 와.
So anyway, the way we look, the way we behave, all this because of not knowing, we make many mistakes, not knowing the reality. We make many mistakes, and because of that, we face many problems.
어떻게 다 너도 사지에 갑자 쭉 가려나 가지 맞지 다 저로 가지나 아니 싸봐서 제고 그래서 달라고 그래서
anyway, the main advice of the Buddha is to be kind-hearted
강가를 기접적으로 해라고 그래서
and to respect all others.
기접적으로는 관계가 최소한까지 지역이 좀 나서서 생각하자 말이야.
So when you say respect, it doesn't mean that you have to listen to whatever they say.
근데 기접요하다 기접요에서 밑에는 공로 사는 말이야. 차도 사는 말이야.
So if we have respect to others, then we will not get angry towards them, we will not be jealous with them.
그래서 공로 사사대 술 사게리 소소도 따오면서 문제를 감수하고 와서 따오면서.
So when the person that we get angry towards is the person who don't get along with us in terms of the views, right?
근데 소주 기접 제자가 밑에는 가서 지금 따오한테만 시험 말고 왔어.
And so the person we respect, there will be not much of different in terms of the view, right?
근데 인자 강가를 기접적으로 해. 아니 정말 제거를 해서 아니 소수기 샘 묘모만 말하고 제거를 해서.
And so therefore we should respect all of the beings, and we should try not to follow the delusions.
아니 묘모만 말하고 묘모를 가르나 내차 공초 나절 차도다 도저를 해서.
So what are the delusions? Delusions are like attachment, anger, ignorance, jealousy, and so forth.
단순히 영어도 저가 있나? 깨진이반에 가서 맞춰봐야 거래서.
So if you follow these delusions, then from the second moment of following them, we become unhappy.
대충도 그간 남녀여서. 공부 시험할 텐데 공부 사회 깨진이반에 가서 선발 나는 이거도 와.
Do we all have that experience? From the second moment of getting angry, our whole view becomes like a gloomy, right?
Are you guys angry sometimes? I think so. Yeah, we all angry, not just you. We all is angry. 공부 사야돼 나도 가서 그래. 소소 강한 시에 샤워야 돼. 강한 내가 제가 왔다. 나도 따다이 선데 그래서 나도 말자 되고. 맞아 되고.
So yeah, because we always think that we are right, whatever we do, whatever we say, we think we're right, and when we are pointed out to be wrong or different, then we get angry.
And then you go, he doesn't do right way. He doesn't say right, this is not correct. Then you say, what? And comes on the Kurukulla to us.
So we become angry right away, right?
There's no other Yamyo, Tenley, Ta Kadina, Nansen, Nana said the Shuchibo. There's much of time for the
and so, that's because of holding, the I or the ego, and we should try to, minimize our ego as much as possible.
And then 가서 남의 주나 다때 야구 말에 대나로 추대들로 그러더라고 그래서 대가나 추대들로 그래서 맞아야 돼. 맞아 되고.
So in Buddhism, it says that ego is not so good, so you should pour some water on it.
Then they will come down. 대가 추려가 처리가나 되게 예민돼. 되게 예민시 받에다 처리해서.
So the water, not the literal water, right? Not the actual water, the liquid, but antidote to that delusion. So the antidote to the ego will be its water.
그냥 한좀 모탈 좀 따와라 때니 티켓들이 여기 녀봐 된 통화 그거 시켜서 등가서 사서 휴책이 왔어. 님을 지나고 다시 와서 말을 쳤어.
So anyway, so you have to understand the drawbacks, or the disadvantages of getting angry or being attached to and so forth. So when you know the drawbacks, then you will not engage in that action. So just like we know what bad will happen if we drive too fast, right? We're afraid that we'll get a ticket, So because of that drawback, and then we control our speed, and drive at the limit.
Right? It's very careful, right? Always. Therefore, we know the result. If you go fast, you got big numbers. Then you can. Then they say not just one. Then the insurance go on. Then we are always careful because we know the result, the result. Therefore, angry, jealous, attachment, hatred. If we know this, false, then it's not easy, because we always
Familiar.
familiar for them, then we just always, the judge may come in, okay, I'm here. The angry comes, okay, I'm going angry with angry. The judge comes, oh, I'm here. You know, we always with them, no?
Under their control.
Under their control, right? You know, try to every day, slowly.
So if we think about those disadvantages of those delusions every day, and then slowly we might be able to lessen them more and more. So our mind will know whatever is taught. It's just that we didn't teach it. And otherwise, whatever you teach, it will know. So are you more amazed by the science or amazed by the intelligence of the human beings?
What do you guys think?
Which is more amazing? Which are you more amazed by? The human thought, human intelligence, or the science, the technologies?
What do you guys think?
Which amazes you more?
Which one's more amazing?
Well, they're related. Both in the mind.
So, all the science and technologies are created by human intelligence, right? The science didn't create the human intelligence. Human intelligence created the science, right? So it's the human intelligence that created all these things, and it worked this way, that way, and then eventually created this small thing which can destroy the whole world, right?
Do you guys subscribe to GPS? GPS, right?
Are you surprised by GPS?
Yes. It's not right. We say, turn left, 5 feet. No, they just we don't know that. When I went to California, one guy, he asked me, 500 feet, turn right. What are you doing? But they're all clean now. They just talk about mission in that. But first people there, right? Women people all think that. Then they put exactly, they, I don't know.
So it's programmed in that way, so that when you get to the time or to the point, then it will tell you what to do, right?
Even now the technologies, in the GPS, they can say, you go that road or that road, there's a lot of traffic. That road, not traffic. Even here they can know. We just think about this very amazing, right? Even we can talk in Tibetan, I can talk my Venice, right? There's nothing.
So there's nothing that connects these two, but we're able to understand or hear each other in such a long distance.
So
these are all created by human beings, right?
I don't know. In science, maybe Marta,
So the scientists say the mind is here. We say mind is here. I don't know wherever it is, but it can learn anything if you teach it, right? So if we teach the positive things like the love, compassion, the good manners, being kind to others, helping others, and so forth, then it will learn, right? The mind will learn, and then it will act in that way. And so most of you here who are here, you have all graduated from the college, right? And so you got to that graduation. through studying, right? Without studying, you will not get there. You got there through studying. You learned, you knew, and then you got there, right?
We put all our hard drive, then we can click everywhere, with a hard drive.
Hard drive.
Hard drive. Our hard drive, okay? Maybe we put more things for positive things for our hard drive, then we'll be more happy. Anyway, today the time also need malam na mashu. Lava ina kanji kanga shingo ya ta kadi imba ina chi yapisho zamisho to labo reswa.
So, like I said again, it's just that we didn't teach it. If we teach, it will learn. So in other words, we have to familiarize our mind with the more positive things. So keep on thinking the positive things again and again, so that it gets familiarized, with the positive things, and it will be kind of habituated to do or engage in positive things all the time. And some topics in Buddhism go into very detail and into a depth, and obviously it becomes more difficult to understand. So the study about the Buddhism, the practice, the study of the Buddhism cannot be completed until you are enlightened. So usually the things, in any kind of project or any kind of work, we can complete it, right? But the study of Buddhism cannot be completed until you become fully enlightened being or Buddha. And so the reason is because until we are fully enlightened, our mind will not be free or separated from the delusions. And so as long as there's delusion, we have to always let the mind study or practice to overcome the delusions. So that's how it is in general about Buddhism. And so anyway, what we're studying tonight is about mind, different kind of minds. What kind of minds are there? What is it? What kind of mind is called what? And what does it do? How does it function? What is its performance and so forth? Well, we do know that there are certain kind of mind, but how do they interact with their object of their perception and so forth? And so last time we talked about the definition of the very cognizer, right? So the definition of the value cognizer, we already talked about that, right? New incontrovertible knower. If you want to review it again, then you can look at the text. And so, for it to be a valid cognizer, it has to be new, something that you haven't cognized before, you're cognizing for the first time, and it has to be incontrovertible, and it has to be a knower. And so if we meet all these three parts of the definition, then it becomes a valid cognizer. And so the consciousness, or the knower, is the mind that knows, right? So any mind that knows is called a knower. And then when we talk about the value cognizer, there are two types of value cognizers. So it's a direct value cognizers and the inferential value cognizers.
Can you get to what page is this?
Well, it's in page 13 and go to the page 14.
그게 제마세한테 얘들은 물어봐준 거죠. 물어봐.
So the value cognizer, which is called tsema in Tibetan. So tsema, is in Tibetan, and it has to be incontrovertible.
현물을 세야 돼 가지 고난게 다 고난 노하고 그러다 사만하지 해도 나다들 물어봐 그래서.
So what is incontrovertible? You know the word incontrovertible, right? So it means what? It means like the correct, the unmistaken one, right? See, if my mind sees, if my eye sees this book, and it's really a book, it's incontrovertible, right? Unmistaken. So, but if I see it as a blanket, then that's not incontrovertible. So that mind which sees that is a mistaken mind. That's not a valid mind.
배차자만나. 다 배 자와를 싸는 주도 주도 싸면 신경이 로지다. 딜로들 다 놓으면 말이지. 다가 부모를 싸는 걸로 동로지 와서 다 딜로들 컨트롤해서.
So if you think of Geshe as a Buddhist monk, that's a valid mind, right? If you think of him as a woman because of the way he dressed, then that would be invalid mind.
근데 다리 제마서는 얘들은 물어봐 코로나 다 놓아 또 그런 것이 싸만하지 이마 레드나 다들 물어봐서.
So it has to be incontrovertible in terms of the object. So if it is not, then it's not a valid cognizer.
아니 다 제마라. 근데 제마다가 아니 이게 제마서야지. 너 제대로 생각이 그래서 하는 거더라고.
So now you know in Tibetan, right, what is called valid cognizer? Tsema. Tsema is the word for Tibetan.
It's better word.
If you want to know it, it's called tsema, valid cognizer. And then there's the valid cognizer. There are two different types. It's a direct valid cognizer and inferential valid cognizer.
예와서는 아주 밀려가 가세요. 조심해 봐. 밀려가서 보다 부모님이라고 왔어.
And so when we talk about the division, it means like two different things, right? Or three different things, whatever different things we have there are. So human beings have how many different types?
2.
와.
Yeah, that's male and female, right? You can say.
어때라? 아주 미세도 뭐 부모 말하고 왔어. 계속 하고들 밑에 별도 부모를 나 주고 갈라.
So human being is neither of those two, right? Human being is not male, not female, right?
어디세? 사바다스가 어디 탱는 어디가 탱거 봐. 나도 남배 세자잖아. 밑에 부모를 하려고 그랬어.
So human being is not male, not female, right? But there are two types of human beings, male and female, or man and woman, or male and female.
다음으로 제마세야 돼. 아니 얘는 물어봐 또 된 걸로 다 알아봐. 다 대나 말하면 그래서 제마세야지. 난 제대로 생각하는 이유래서.
And so the valid cognizer is a new incontrovertible knower, and there are two types, like direct valid cognizer and inferential valid cognizer.
제마세야 되면 나도 개개씩 말했어. 나도 개개씩 말했어.
So if there is no valid cognizer, then we will not be able to know anything.
나도 지금 시세야 돼. 나도 지금 대시비기 시바지 완전 나도 시라고 그러고.
So when we say I know, because I know it because I have that mind, a type of mind that knows it. Therefore, I say I know it.
되게 시바들라 다 리마로 니어다 대우치 리마로 니어레스.
And so that mind which knows it, there are two different types.
다 그래서 제마도 제대로 비슷하세 말로 니어레스.
There are two types. Those are the valid, direct valid cognizers and inferential valid cognizers.
당에서 제마세야 돼. 아니 나도 오시가요. 오시방가요. 와서 대면 공부를 아니 다 그래서 말하고 그래서.
And so the direct valid cognizer will be like we have those sense consciousnesses, right? The 5 sense consciousness. So those 5 sense consciousness will be a direct valid cognizer.
대시방가로 서로 더 많이 게 시내래래. 찍면은 아니 밑에라 다 찍 미식이 잘 몰라.
Sure, this 5 different sense consciousness that have 5 different functionalities, right? So if any of them is missing, then the person will not know that thing. So, for example, if the person is missing the nose consciousness, the nose consciousness will not be able to experience any smells. For any of those 5 sense consciousness to arise, it has to meet with the object. And for example, like the eye consciousness sees an object, right? Sees an object. So if the object doesn't appear to that consciousness will not be able to see it. So there has to be interaction between the object and the eye consciousness. And so because, for example, if you close or if you shut your eyes, then you'll not be able to see the object. But because they are not interacting, not meeting, and they're not connecting with each other, therefore the eye consciousness is not able to see an object. So it is same with the sound, smell, touch, olfactory, and so forth, right? So that's easy to understand, right? Those type of consciousness is easy to understand, right? So something that has to, for the object and subject, for the subject object, they have to, come in contact with the object, and that's called the direct perceiver. So, for example, the silk or the brocade, whether it's rough or smooth, can be only experienced or felt by touching it. By seeing it, you won't be able to tell whether it's rough or whether it's smooth, right? You have to touch it and then feel, whether it's smooth or rough. We can see the color, of course, the color of the brocade, you can see it, but you will not be able to experience the feeling of it. And then same with the food, so whatever food that you see in the restaurant or whatever you have ordered, when it comes in front of, when it's placed on your table, you will not be able to tell whether it's salty or whether it's sweet or whether it's spicy. You won't be able to tell until you taste it. Just by seeing with your eye, you won't be able to tell that. And so therefore, each of these 5 sense consciousness have a different functionalities. So different part of the computer has different functions, right? So if any part of that is missing, then that part of the function will be missing also, right? And so those are the sense consciousnesses, and so any of those value cognizers, there's a sense consciousness, direct value cognizers. And then the inferential cognizer, inferential.
Inferential.
Then what would be the noun? Would be like inference.
Inference.
Yeah. So inference means what? You know, right? The word in English. Inference means something that requires reasons or explanation, for you to understand that, right? And so you don't see it directly, but then someone says, "Oh, yeah, it is like that because this is," and then it's like this because of that. You understand? And for example, like you see on top of the mountain, you see there's a smoke coming on top of the mountain, and you don't see what is behind the mountain, but you see smoke coming from the top. You say, "Oh, there must be fire behind the mountain because there is a smoke." So because of the reason, reason seeing the smoke, then you understand that there's a fire. And so that's the inferential cognition.
For example, right now you guys smell to food. You better smell food. To go there, you really smell.
Do you smell food?
Right? You know,
But we don't see the food, you can only smell the food, smell it, right? You don't see the food there, no? But you smell it. So when you come into the house and you smell the food, and then you say, "Oh, somebody must be cooking," because you smell the food. And so you don't know that you haven't seen somebody cooking the food, but because you smell, therefore you come to understand that somebody's cooking. And so that's called the inferential value cognizers. So in terms of understanding, the way you understand, one sees it directly and one understands by applying the reasons, right? And so that which is not direct, and goes or comes to cognize it or understand it through reason, is also called conceptual. It says here, the individual definitions, illustrations, and so forth will be explained later. But first, we're going to talk about the direct perceivers. It says the definition of an awareness that is a direct perceiver is a knower that is free from conceptuality and non-mistaking. So it says the knower that is free from conceptuality. That means like a knower that is not conceptuality, right? Free from conceptuality means not a conceptuality, right? Not conceptual. And it has to be unmistaken, right? Non-mistaken to its object. The object that it sees has to be non-mistaken. And that's the path. What? That's the path. And so earlier when we talk about the direct valid cognizer, we talk about the sense direct, sense consciousnesses, right? So here it talks about how many different types of direct perceivers are there. So one of them is the sense direct perceiver, and then the second one is called the mental direct perceiver. There's a self-knowing direct perceiver and a yogic direct perceivers. So non-mistaken would be like, for example, like when we're in the car, and the car is moving, right, in the motion. We see the trees passing by, trees on the roadside, we feel like the trees are moving, right? So are we moving or the trees we feel like trees are moving, trees are not moving, right? They're sitting there because we are moving, and therefore we think, it looks like the trees or the rock or the river or whatever, the water, the pond, is there, it looks like they are all moving. So if we think they are moving, then we are mistaken, right? To think that they are moving. So the tree doesn't move, tree is sitting on its place, but because we're moving, it feels like they are moving, the trees are moving. So if we think the trees are moving, then that will be mistaken.
But the trees is not fast moving, same as we see. Usually the trees is moving. It's we call
actually, they are moving, right? We said the whole world turns around all the time. Right? The world is turning around all the time. So they are moving, but not as fast as we think it's moving. And so if we think they are moving because we are moving, then that's mistaken. This is an illustration, an example.
셰마가 당신 뭐 반로이나 아니 무지세 치라고 이거 치라고 치라고 통으로 와 치마는 또 치래요 선생님한테 대 집다 치라고 뭐 샤이로 대 샤워를 때 치라고 나오요
I don't know if you have seen Mirage. Have you seen Mirage? Experienced Mirage? Yeah, so people think there's water there, right? But actually it's not water, it's just a mirage. And many animals, they get confused. They see from distance and they think there's water in a plain desert. They think there's water there, but it's not. It's just a mirage. And they run towards there, and when they come there, there's no water. And so, of course, also when we walk, we make many mistakes, right? And all these mistakes that we make when we're walking, we're doing some walks, and that's a mistake, right?
Do you guys mistake? You do always mistake, right? Mistake chede, tambo manzo yedran, chede tata yesum chega chede da shumako kupteyo was.
So why we make mistake is because we think we're right? And we keep on doing that, and later, when it doesn't match or doesn't go along, then we find out that we're mistaken. So the way we did it, if it really works out at the end, in that way, that's not mistaken, right? So if it doesn't work, out at the end, then that's mistaken. Again, sometimes even though it is mistaken to your appearance, but doesn't mean it's really mistaken. They're mistaken your appearance, but not really mistaken. Like we talked about different kind of objects, right? Appearing object, determinate object, object engagement, and so forth. So they all have this different thing. So it doesn't mean that whatever appears as mistaken is necessarily mistaken.
What 간제 예도 별로진 거 그래서 맞아 왔습니다. 다 처음에 그렇게 말해요. 예도 별로진 거 그래서 내가
And so here, when we talk about the direct perceiver, it's not talking about the direct value cognizer, it's just talking about the direct perceiver in general. And for that, it doesn't have to be imperturbable and so forth, but it has to be a mind or consciousness that knows.
And 나 담보를 많이 하도 담보 가지고 가르치는 거 시기도 될 테마라 그랬어. 제일 중요한 통이 딱 그러니까 어떤 계절에서 조사하고 그러고 다 될 또 내가 또 제시해야 돼. 참 말이더라 그래서.
So, for example, like when you see me first time, then that is a valid cognizer. So it's a new, it's incontrovertible, and it's a knower. And then after that, you have seen me before, and then now next time when you see me. It's no longer a valid cognizer. It's called a subsequent cognizer, and you have noticed that even though it's a subsequent cognizer, it still cognizes it. You still cognize me, so therefore it is cognizer. And then the first one is the sense direct perceiver, right? Like you can see here in the text. So with respect to the first of these sense direct perceiver, there are two parts and so forth. So again, it's very similar to what we talked about earlier.
다 이직에서는 다 이지식의 뭐지 내서서 다 나고 오신 거 그런 많이 면 내서서.
So the mental direct perceiver is to do with the mind, not with the sense consciousness, but more with the mental consciousness.
근데 라링에서 해야 돼. 양 계속 나도 10바세 빼는데 내 예대지. 내 예지 10바 되지. 10바의 통일의 양도 잡아도 10바요. 대라라고 그래서. 너무 10바 미셔다. 내 주대지. 내 미셔 되지. 다 내라 미셔의 통일을 하는 사지 양 지요 대라라고 그래서 10바 걸 통일.
So the self-knowing, means like the mind, knowing the mind which knows, right? The mind, knowing the mind, which knows an object. And so, for example, the eye consciousness knows the object, the form of it, right? The visual objects. The eye consciousness knows that. And then there's another mind which knows the eye consciousness. The mind which knows the eye consciousness, which knows the visual object. And so that's called the self-knowing direct perceiver.
We don't have any experience, just be said. 나도 그때 고단을 잘못 왔어. 그래서 오늘 여사선 딱 가지고 가서 근데 여사를 싸면 되지 근데 고단을 잘못 왔어.
여사를 싸면
이제 어떤 나는 여사를 싸면 좀 제마도 나도 진짜 고단을 잘못 왔어. 우리 보냈어야 되고 다들 있지 여사를 싸면 저랑 그냥 고단 잘못 와.
So the self-knowing cognition perceiver wouldn't have much experience with it. And so others we have experience with the eye consciousness, we can see the objects, so we can say we have experience with the eye consciousness, but not with the self-knowing direct perceivers, right?
What? Then 나중에 다들 같이 다 냠냠 봐도 띵에도 고발했더니 시험을 다시 해서 와 띵에서.
So the yogic direct perceiver, is the perceiver or the consciousness of the yogis, the practitioners, the great practitioners, and so it's their mind.
What is that? That is she what is
And so those are the four different types of direct perceivers.
다 동보랑 생이다 예완이지. 다 동보 아니 운동했더라 생이다 예완이에요.
And the first one, is talking about the sense direct perceiver, and sense direct perceiver again is divided into two parts: the definition and divisions.
다른 것 보면 나중에 지금 공부수 집발할 때는 저와 그것이 또 받아들여 맞추면 봐.
So then it says the first definition of a sense direct perceiver is that which is produced in dependence on its own uncommon, empowering conditions of physical sense power.
다른 것 보면 나중에 지금 공부수 집발할 때 당장 나서 미시가 나라 내가 나고 대나라야 나고 주주주도 와 대로 공부수 집발하고 그래서
And is a knower that is free from conceptuality and undertaking. And so when we talk about the physical sense power, it says like, for example, in the case of the eye consciousness, the eye sense consciousness, it's the black part in our eye, and even inside that there's an even tinier black part.
대라반은 죽도 대라 샤고 그랬어. 죽도 대라 샤고 참아라.
And so the objects appear to that, like a glass, the black part. And when the object appears to that, and then from there, then comes the eye consciousness, the eye sense consciousness.
수도 대라 세월이 샷 맞아가 있나? 나도 대토 미시에 깨도면도 왔어. 근데 미시에 거기 내가 봤더니 아니 다 비, 그래 샤사디 걸어 고쳐주고 들어왔어.
And so so if the object doesn't appear to that part, the tiny black part inside in the middle of the eye, if it doesn't appear there, then we'll not be able to see the object. And so that's why sometimes we have to wear glasses, right? Because that part of the eye is kind of damaged or becoming weak, and therefore we have to wear glasses to be able to see the objects.
근데보다 된지가 공부수 침반, 공부수 침반을 그래서 되게 나를 나고 잘하대. 대라 때는 미시 째게 왔어 미시.
And so that is the sense, the physical sense power. So by depending on that, then there comes the sense consciousness, the eye sense consciousness.
내 주의 마시러 와. 내 공부수 침반이. 다 미실이 잘로 되어 있구나. 죽된 데는 나와 인자 다내또 죽도비 미실이 내가 되게 그래서.
So, for example, the eye consciousness, there's an object, and then there's that object that appears through the physical sense power, the black part in the middle of the eye, and then from there comes the eye sense consciousness.
Now, this is just we have to think about it. We cannot experience.
So that's how it is, but we can't experience it directly by ourselves. So if there's any faults or damages to that part of the eye, then we'll not be able to generate the eye sense consciousness. And so this is the uncommon and important condition for the eye consciousness, the eye sense consciousness, and therefore, if anything is wrong with that uncommon important condition, then it will not be able to. It will not be possible for the eye consciousness to generate. You understand uncommon, right? What do you mean by uncommon in this context? So the physical sense power, in this case, will be the will be the uncommon condition, an uncommon condition for that, right? So uncommon means not shared with others, it's only for itself, not shared with others. So, for example, if a mother have only one child, and she would be the uncommon mother, of the child, right? So it's only hers, it's not shared. But if the mother has two sons, then either of the son cannot say, "Oh, this is the uncommon mother of this son or their son," right? Because this is mother of their son as well. So it's shared, so common and uncommon. That's what it means, right? Yeah, just like it's in English. Just like the direct perceiver, it has to be free from conceptuality and it has to be non-mistaken. And then when it's divided, the sense direct perceiver, when it's divided, there are three. The value cognizer, there are sense direct perceiver, and subsequent cognizer, there are sense direct perceiver, and it's awareness to which an object appears, but it's not ascertained, that are sense direct perceiver. And then this is the first, for example, the first moment of sense direct perceiver after handing a form. That would be the value cognizer, right? So it has to be new, it has to be incontrovertible, it has to be novel, right? for the valid cognizer. So it's talking about the first moment of a sense-direct perceiver apprehending a form.
Do you guys see this model before? Yes, so this model before? Do you guys saw this cup before?
Yes.
Look at that. Anyway. Kanji, 나도 깜짝 놀라나. Today we go to just shopping, okay? We go to shopping. We saw new cup. 그 cup 담보 통에 시바들라 다 세만나 그래서 zulana zu가만 통하는 zul라 그러고.
So you went to a shop and you see some a new edition of the cups, which you have never seen before. So when you see for the first time, then that's the valid cognizer. Seeing it for the first time, and seeing it is, seeing the cup and seeing the mind that knows it. So therefore that mind is called a valid cognizer. And then second is, for example, the second moment of sense-direct perceiver apprehending form. And so after the second moment, and then it has become a subsequent cognizer. And so the subsequent cognizer is a knower which knows the object which is already known before. Right? So if you are knowing something which you have already known before, then that is a subsequent cognizer. So I have seen this, and I've seen this yesterday, and I've seen this day before yesterday. That kind of mind. When you have that, that's the sense, and I mean the subsequent direct perceiver. And so it says the second moment, so it would be like from second moment, the third moment, fourth moment, all these are subsequent cognizer. And the third one is awareness, which an object appears, but to which an object appears, but is not ascertained, and that are sense-direct perceiver. So that will be, this is the third. For example, the sense-direct perceiver apprehending a form in the continuum of a person whose mind is especially attracted to a pleasant sound. So you understand that part, right? So when you're so it's just like when you're watching TV, and you are very attracted to the sound or the music that's coming there. To the music or to the song, that you don't really pay attention to the pictures that appear to your eye, and so because your mind is more focused on the sound, therefore you don't see. You don't recognize the forms, pictures. You do see it, but it's like kind of vague. It's just there, but you see it, but you don't really know it. So that's called it appears, but not ascertained. Sometimes, like when you're watching a TV, your mind is so into the TV that you don't know who these people just pass by. Of course, you know that somebody passed by, but you don't know exactly who the person is. So the person appeared to you, but you don't know the person. So because your mind is more attracted, through the TV.
You have this experience? This is always there,
And so when we're focused on the TV, sometimes again we don't hear. So that's different. That's another example. Like you hear the sound, but you don't know what exactly they were saying. So you have to like kind of stop the TV and say, "Can you say that again?" So you have to listen to it again.
다 오분에서 챙겼더니 다 양오분에서 다 준종에 장종에 준종에 롱종에 레잠스명에 가요레스 다 대주로 장가자레스.
And then when the sensory perceiver are divided in another way, there are 5. And so the sensory perceiver apprehending the forms, the sound, the odors, the taste, and tangible objects.
다들 나도 다 담보는 와서 랑가 담보만 다 젠데 집이 명화서 다는 거 지라 봐. 명화서도 나고 가고 주주돼. 그래서 와 나고 주주돼. 랑가 미제데 집이 줄아 때니 제가 같이 똑같이 말하고 와. 미사들 거 줄는 게 왔어. 다케데 아니 더 같이 지나데 아니 명화지. 아니 미사가 켄데다 줄아야 되는데 제가 같이 똑같이 말하고 그래서
And so this is the definition of the sensory perceiver. Apprehending form is that which is generated independent on its own uncommon, important condition, the eye sense power, and is observed in an object in a condition, a form, and it's novel that is free from conceptuality and non-mistaken. Again, it's talking about that uncommon, important condition for the eye sense consciousness, especially the eye sense consciousness. It will be the eye sense power, right? That the physical power, sense power that you have inside the eye, that the eye sense power. So because of that, because of the object appearing to that, then you are able to see. And when you see, it is the sense consciousness that's seeing it.
maybe now we can say glass the kind of machine chair to more the child was glass like so it now what the machine chair was.
And also you can say now the glasses that we wear can become an uncommon important condition because it appears to those glasses, therefore you are able to see.
That too powerful glass people there. And glass that I should know what they took a machine chair was.
And so because the object appeared to that glasses, and therefore from there then comes the eye sense consciousness apprehending the form.
어다 미시다 그랬어. 미시를 대자오니 다 암조도 나도 아니 제도 레샤가나자 이래서.
So this you can apply. This example you can apply to all other sense consciousness, sense organs like the eye, the ear. Now this is talking about the eye, so you can apply that to the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body, and so forth.
Okay. Are there any questions? Yeah.
If you see an object for a second time, according to what I'm understanding, that would be...
Sharon.
Oh, sorry. If you see an object for the second time, it would be called a subsequent cognizer. What if you forget that you saw it for the first time? Is it still a subsequent cognizer?
이제는 양쪽 도나 나도 처음 잘했어. 처음 나는 게 싶은 양 잘했어.
No, then it would be a valid cognizer.
It would.
Yeah, because that mind which knew that before is gone already. It has degenerated, and it's no longer there. And you're seeing it for the first time again. You forgot it already. So then it would be valid cognizer.
So in conditions like Alzheimer's, for instance, where you forget constantly, then you're constantly in a state of the
Valid
down.
cognizer. 그래서 나서지가 그런 제도에 나서는 미쳐라.
예.
뒤라 때는 가든은 더 거치 제발은 더 단다 제도는 제도는 계속님은 더는 거창한 사고.
거창한 잘했대 저.
Yes.
가나 빼잖아 가나 나한테 이제 처음 놈이 시방 많이 받으라 그래서 제가 대시방 냠살로
And so that mind, which has seen it, should not have degenerated. So if it has degenerated, then the next time when you see it, it will be a valid cognizer.
옛날에 다 대리장하고 같이 또 살아봤어. 다 대리장하고 놔두고 있지만 아니 제 요거를 하는 대어마야 정사와도 제 요거를
So today you saw me, and then you have this you saw me for the first time, that's a valid cognizer. And then again, after 2-3 days, you can still have a valid cognizer of seeing me, who sees me. It's a different kind of valid cognizer you can generate of seeing me. So then that is a little bit more difficult to understand, because then it's talking about more detail into the valid cognizers. So it is the mind, which knows the thing which is already known, which knows the thing which it has already known before. Then that is the subsequent cognizer. So that for that, you have to have the mind which have known before. If that mind has degenerated, like in the case of forgetting the object, it has already degenerated. So then when you see it, then it doesn't become subsequent; it becomes valid cognizer. But if it has not degenerated, the mind which has seen it before has not degenerated, and then you are seeing it again, you are already familiar with that, then that will be a subsequent cognizer.
I really forgot for that. When I was upstairs, I want something downstairs here. Then I come here, I forgot. I don't know any readiness. Then I go back, I went to that. Do you guys have this? Maybe Yah was maybe not. It shows the edge. I have this all of it. Okay, then we call his name is Caution Boss. Boss of caution.
Questions.
Means he has a lot of questions.
Geshe, in Shantideva, in chapter 9 of Shantideva's guide, he argues it with the Chitta Mantrans about self-knowing mind. And I was wondering, it says here self-knowing direct perceiver, but Shantideva was kind of arguing with the Chitta Mantrans that the self-knowing mind doesn't exist and all. So I was wondering if there's a difference between those two.
Yes, different tenets have different view about the self-cognizer. And so the Manwari school believes in self-cognizer. They say, yeah, there is a mind which knows the mind. But Shantideva is, of course, following the Pasanjya Madhava's view, which says there is no self-cognizer. There's no mind which knows the mind itself. So that's why. Yeah.
So what is that? So what's the difference between that self-cognizer and then here where it says the self-knowing direct perceiver?
So this text is according to the Sutra school, the Sautantika tenet, and then Sautantika tenet, of course, believes in the self-cognizer. So same, it's the same. So in the tenets, tenet study about the tenet, we talked about that self-cognizer. Yeah. So there are in some tenets that believes in assert the self-cognizer, and some don't assert the self-cognizer.
So this was like that. So Shantideva would argue against that.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you.
And you can study more than today you will understand.
Thank you, Geshe.
So, so when it explains about the, here it explains about the self-cognizer according to Sutra school, and they're saying like this is what self-cognizer means, and you just learn that way. But in other school, they don't say there is a self-cognizer. So again, we talk about the things that appear to us is non-mistaken, is incontrovertible, and so forth, right? And that's according to the Sutra school. So whatever it appears to us is non-mistaken. The table appears as a table, so that's non-mistaken. But when we go into the detail about the Prasangika Madhyamika's view, that will be all mistaken. Right? The mistake will be all mistaken. So of course there's a difference like that.
And they kick out all them. Then that will be no more. Okay, then any other questions? Okay. Good, if you have some questions, then we get some more information. Otherwise, all I say, you guys can understand and more difficult. Okay?
Geshe, the examples you used when you were talking about the inferential mind with the smoke behind the mountain and the whatever else it was, the smell of the food.
Yeah.
Okay, you infer that, but you don't see the fire, you don't see the food. But you're wrong. Say you're just wrong. There is no fire, there is no food in the house. Does that mean that then you are not a valid cognizer, but an invalid cognizer?
그러나 동화가 되는 데는 매우 또 그랬어. 그러나 매매바이나 동화지고 여기서 매매바 차스기랬어. 이스기랬어. 칼라기 팀아 여기서는 칼라매바 차스기랬어. 그 칼라 여기서 칼라 매바이나 그냥 아주 칼라 여기서 가서는 아주 그 칼라 팀아 도왔어. 라바이나 근데 그 칼라도 로지가 뒤다 내 칼라다 세면차로 그랬어. 세면만 차로 그랬어.
대차로 대차로 매바이 차로 그랬어.
칼라 매바는 칼라 팀아 여기.
나 칼라면은 벌써 칼라 좋아요.
매매는 동화요. So usually, yes, if it happens, if there's no fire, then of course it will be mistaken, right? Mistaken mind.
Right.
And if there's no food, it will be mistaken. But can there be smell of food without food?
Well, if somebody already ate it, I guess.
Yes, of course, but the smell has to come from the food, right?
Right.
And the smell cannot come without the food. So either it has already eaten, or it's there, or if it's gone, gone, but it was there. The smell came from the food, so there was a food, or there is a food, so because there's a smell. Or same with the smoke, the fire, when there's a fire, there's a smoke. And when there's a smoke, there's a fire. But doesn't mean the fire has to be there at that time. Even if when you put out the fire, the smoke can still be there. It doesn't mean that it has to be there. But the smoke came from fire, so from seeing the smoke, you can see that there was a smoke, there was a fire, or there is a fire.
So then you will always be right.
So in this case, yes.
In this case, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And so then you will always be a valid cognizer in this case. Yes.
그래서나 몇대 대비 제를 봤어. 제대 맨날 배우는 거라고.
So because the cause of the smoke is what? Fire, right? Without a cause, there cannot be result, right? If there is a smoke, it has to be from the fire. There cannot be smoke without a fire. Same with the food, right? The smell of the food is the food. I mean, the cause for the smell of the food is the food, right? Without the food, there cannot be smell of the food. And so if there is a son, we can see must be there must have been a mother, And without a mother, there cannot be a child, right?
There's some they make a lot of eggs. I don't know where their mothers. 참 고마워서 그래. 미싱 소스라고.
So now, but nowadays you can use the machines to create a lot of babies, right? Or eggs.
I don't know. Do they have pets?
So that kid, that child has a parent,
Yeah. Yeah.
mother.
Yes, but not in the sense that we think of it, I guess.
I don't know how they create it. 세당 제시도 공부하고 낮게도 공부를 많이 걸어.
Yeah, they take it in a petri dish.
So it's technically
Or in a petri dish, and then, yeah.
So there is a parent stuff.
Yeah, there are parents. Yeah, there are parents. Yeah, both parents. They are parents.
Oh, good. That was we. 대면은 맞아 맞아요. 맞아 나베게 놀라야. 제네 센치가 제네 시그레스. 나제도 공지나 탐탐한 주고 그러더라고요.
So, we in Buddhism we explain about 4 different types of birth. So either you're born from a womb, from an egg, and a miraculous birth, or birth from heat and moisture. And before the birth, from womb and egg, you have to have a mother. You have to have a mother or parents.
If science is trying to, then to that kind of birth, then without mom, then Buddhism, that could
Be wrong.
But now, if Buddhism and scientists, they go together. Not 100%, Okay,
Yeah, they go along with each other.
no hold them, anyway, most parts. The scientists they talk
So, science and Buddhism, they get along with many things, but not everything. Like science don't believe if you don't see it. Buddhism said it doesn't have to. It doesn't mean it's not there if you don't see it. It can still be there, but not necessarily that you have to see it, right? And so there are things, Buddhism explains more than the science can discover.
So
because the science, mostly believe only if they can see it or they can find out with the, with the device and so forth. But Buddhism can explain more than what you can really see. So maybe physically, externally, science is more advanced, but internally Buddhism is more advanced.
If some Buddhism text explain to Kurukulla,
More mirror.
then the scientist doesn't find, then we say, okay, then we just quiet. That's any model, we all can have this.
So, geographically, Buddhism said there is such and such things like that. But His Holiness also says that, but how can it be there? If it's like this, like that. So therefore, he said, even I'm Buddhist, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in Mount Meru. He says that. So that there he says, he go along with the science, and say no to the Buddhism.
Then when we think we are foreigners, we just quiet, we don't want to talk more. Just like that. Then we think, oh, this is more blood, then we talk more. Anyway, okay. Let me stop here. And if you like, you can read this again, then you can have some more doubts coming. Usually this is more important. And if you look at Shiba, Sema 많이 봐도 내가 뭐 하고 있나? 아니, 만들고 Sema 많이 봤대요. 오늘 말로 나가서 Shiba 가는데 Sema 뭐 가는데 많이 봐서 좀 하고 그러고.
So if you know about this mind, then it will help us to understand what kind of mind is the valid cognizer or non-valid cognizer, and and it will help us to prevent from following the non-valid cognizers. So you can't understand it easily. You have to study continuously, like the stream of the river.
When I was monastery, my teacher, that time I cannot read Tibetan, my own language. I was 19 years old. I cannot read my own language. And my teacher covered my language.
See, so he taught me orally, because I didn't know how to read. So he taught me orally, so definition of the pot. So this is the definition of pot. And he taught me for 3 days, and I still couldn't learn it.
Very difficult, very difficult. Because also we are not, I'm not, what's that?
So I was not familiar with it, and that's why it became a bit more difficult. So, so more and more you get used to it, or habituated with it, then easier and easier it becomes. So there isn't anything you cannot learn through familiarization or habituation.
I remember this. He teach me 3 days, every day, 4 or 5 hours, just me and him. He said, after I can. 2-3 minutes, go back home, then I forgot again. One time, when I was to my teacher, then he teach me, Then after I just repeat again, say I go back. On the way, doing that a little bit rain, and the shore 가만히 보다가 들만 춘장됐어. 근데 나 처음 then 나 지금 좀 전에 봐주려는 게 제사셨어.
So there's like like an alley, you know, like between the houses, you know, like the path, you know, the alley. And I was walking there, and there was there was pouring rain at that time, and there was water, so I was just jumping over there. I was repeating it, and I was going, and when I jumped, when I got on the other side, I forgot.
I never forgot. I always remember. Then I have to go again and say, one monk, what's that? Anyway, if you are more familiarized, then more easy.
So there isn't anything that you cannot, that cannot become easier, with familiarization.
Okay, thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, page 39. Sashi